Hey, okay, a little bit about medical death. And by medical death, I mean expected death. Whether it's end stage disease process or a hospice type situation, in a medical death, there is a very organized and relatively seamless experience that happens energetically, cellularly and energetically for each individual person. Now, you guys, death is as unique as each death is as unique as the individual's life. Okay, so there's no one certain way that everybody's gonna die. It's just the same way as like living. But what I noticed over all my years in the field time and watching all of these deaths up close and personal is that there is kind of a harmony or some sort of organic unfolding that would happen. And that's what I want to talk about with you guys, because it can help take the fear away. All right, so in a medical death, we have just the chakra systems will begin down at the base and begin to unfurl. So the energies of the whole being will begin to consolidate at the base of the spine and then ever so slowly move up the central column towards the crown. Now, when we're healthy, we're out, we're living, we've got our auric field that's intact. It's about, 9 feet circumferential in all directions. We got all kinds of colors going on. Our chakra systems are flowing, our meridians are flowing. We have energy going up, down, side to side, above, below, back to front. It's just this incredible experience. It's so fun to see this stuff, right? In people, okay? And as the person is coming to completion with their life, the energy obviously is not as vital, right? It's transitioning. And so with that, what I noticed is the depletion, the lack of vitality in the cells would begin to shrink the auric field, okay? Oftentimes down where it was almost non-existent, okay? And so then the energy shrinks into the actual physical body because we're just depleting, okay? And again, there's nothing to fear in death. It's natural cyclical completion. It's a rebirth into, to me, death is graduation, okay? Because again, I've seen it so much and it's like nothing to fear. So the energy begins to consolidate in the cells. It consolidates at the base of the spine, and ever so slowly the chakra systems begin to unfurl, okay? My experience was that the chakra systems are not just red, orange, yellow, green, blue, like we hear about, right? Yes, there are vibrational resonance within each individual circuit. They kind of have that, there's a vibrational resonance of each, which resonates at a certain color frequency. So that's totally accurate. But like with all energy, it's so many colors, right? And so it's this whole mishmash. And the energies, as they're unfurling, it almost looks like a ticker tape, okay? And the ticker tape is just, it's data. It literally looks matrix-like. It's sacred geometry, numerology, it's mathematical algorithm, right? Which is so funny to me because I was never a math person. And I'm like, why do I see all of this data around? Like you look at a tree and you see all the vertical data, mathematical numerics running up and down, right? It's just like, bah. So anyway, I digress. Coming back, as the soul is beginning the transition coming up, that is, you guys, you hear the light at the end of the tunnel? That's the tunnel. Welcome to the tunnel. It's where your energy, your reference, your soul essence is beginning the transition up out of the crown. It's the light at the end of the tunnel. Hi. And then once the soul exits out the crown, it looks like this mist. It's so cool. And the mist, depending on how vital the person was, how vibrant they were, or how depleted they were, the mist would be a certain like vibrance or color, okay? So if they just were like so like over it and depleted and exhausted and whatever, it would just be like this little like, and if the person was like healthy and vital, then it would be stronger, but it looks like a mist, okay? And then so once they hit the heightened state of third eye and above, they go into an expanded state of consciousness, right? And when you're in an expanded state of consciousness, again, the death experience really is like taking off a heavy coat. You yourself stay intact, right? Like your thread of consciousness with your likes, your dislikes, your life experience, your memories, all of your stuff stays intact, and it comes up out of the crown, but all of a sudden you can see things from a higher vantage point. Just meaning, you can kind of be in multiple places at once. And we hear this all the time in death stories, near-death experience stories from nurses and from doctors and from loved ones who are in the hospital with other people, or people who are like, oh, I came up out and I was floating in the corner of the room. So I'm talking about, guys, okay? So the soul essence goes into a higher state of awareness. There's nothing scary about this, okay? It's really beautiful unfolding. And they're oftentimes met by deceased loved ones or pets, or if they have religious beliefs, the archetypes will come in. It can be like this homecoming type experience. The person who's transitioning can see and hear the people in the room, and they can also see and hear people at great distance as though they were right there with them, because there is no time-space continuum outside of the tangible reality. Time is a concept of human making, okay? And so as we expand, we go into this higher state of consciousness, take off the heavy coat, greeted by loved ones, and it's this incredible expansion, okay? It's this incredible graduation experience. And that's really the medical death aspect. So very beautiful, very organized. The person, this is cool too, what I noticed, and I heard it all the time, as the person was getting closer to their transition, their awareness would begin to open. So it's really common to hear as the person's laying in bed and their energy is pulling in and it's starting the process of exiting, that person would often start to see the dead loved ones in the room with them, or start to talk to people, or you know, things that other like embodied people couldn't see. That's very normal. It's a thinning of the veil. It's all of the senses that create this reality and keep us in this little box. Those are just opening up so the people can see through the veil beyond, right? So common. You hear about it all the time in your death experience and hospital visits. So it is a beautiful, organic unfolding. Nothing to fear in medical death. And I hope this is helpful. I hope this is helpful because, again, when we talk about it, we dispel the fear, right? It's going to happen to all of us at some point, the transition, right? So let's talk about it. And if you ever have that opportunity to be there with somebody in the moments of transition, it is such an incredible honor. Just think of their entire life and all the people that they've like talked to and all the things that they've done, and they've had this whole experience, and you get the honor of being there with them in their final moments. What a gift.